Hey, everybody. I am super excited to introduce one of my good friends, another rock star realtor out of Northern Virginia and Tampa Bay, Florida. I cannot wait to tell you all about Charmaine's busy life as a realtor, as a busy mother, and servicing clients between two very different locations. So, welcome,
Say-
Charmaine.
Yay, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us all about yourself and when did you get into real estate?
Yeah, so I am actually 42 now, and I got my license when I was 22 years old, right after my mom passed. She had sold real estate my whole life, so I kind of grew up in it. And I was in the hotel industry at the time. I used to want to own a hotel when I was a kid, and so I was in the hotel industry for 23 years of my life. So for a long time, I had dual careers, which a lot of people try to put me in a corner and say, you can't do that, all that. And I'm like, oh, no, I can. And I will. And you can watch. And so that's how I really started my business, as doing dual careers. So really time management is super important to me. And priority order is huge. And so those two things pretty much have changed the way I do business over time. So I am full time, all focus real estate, no other distractions with other careers anymore. So I made that decision after having twins and
Oh, wow.
and realized I can't do it all. No, I could do it all, but not well. So I am a Christian, and so I felt like God just made it clear you can't, you gotta, you gotta chill a little bit, and you gotta back some stuff off and let me do what I need to do with you. And so being a mom was really important to me. My twins will be 5 in April, and I have a 6-year old. So, but I did start later in life, right? Which is why 42 and I'm tired. But yeah, so
Are they identical twins?
boy girl fraternal.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot, but it works, And hey, I always tell people like I have pretty good endurance. I'm a runner too, and so I knew I had endurance, but when I had twins, I reevaluated what endurance was. But a friend asked me, so how does that relate to real estate? And I'm like, well, here's the thing. Like when you think about endurance and confidence and kind of knowing how to manage things,
Mhm.
distractions, I pretty much understand how to do that. And feeling out of control, I've been there. And so that's why I tell people all the time with my clients, I can tell them, you can relax. God has given me the skill of negotiation, and I love it and I'm passionate about it. And always, Tom Ferry, all our trainings and everything, always sharpening our skills. That is huge. And so I
Yep.
feel like that's something that we have to continue to pivot and grow and be better. So yeah, my industry, I started super young, grew up in it. I believe in it. I'm not one of those people that sell real estate and have never bought anything. I believe in generational wealth and building it through real estate. And so I
Mhm.
do use my platform to share that and advocate for it because I think it's huge. And a lot of people are just, it's such a big idea that it's hard for them to understand. So I have a lender friend of mine that I've been working with for 12 years. And we really try to walk alongside buyers and help them understand and give them the tools and what they need to understand and be educated, right? Because a wise buyer will make wise choices. And, this buying is not this fun roller, this fun, woohoo, everybody feels great. It's a roller coaster ride, right? So if you're with experts that know and kind of guide you through it, you feel good about it. And so, yeah, I really try to, it's passion and purpose, I think, is the best way to explain how my business is ran. And I keep going. I grew up in a very a lot of adversities and stuff. So I am a big component of pivoting, learning from it. Okay, what is God teaching me? Applying it and moving on. I don't really sit in the negative for long. I mean, I told you my Facebook got hacked over the weekend. I was devastated, and I was like, no. Freak out moment since 2008. All my memories are on there. It took me 2 days to pivot and say, okay, I'll just set myself a new account and start over. Uh,
You can't get your account back.
no, it's disabled because some hacker came in and like it was linked to my Instagram, which you would think would make sense. They like detached my profile because it had 2 different passwords, because I did that not knowing that that was a good idea. So they detached it and linked it to some crazy Instagram and did crazy stuff. And so I got like some like crazy violations for like hate speech and like all this stuff. I was like, oh my goodness, there's speech going on up in here. It was a mess, but there's no customer service that you can find. And so I'm just out of gas with it. And I was so upset. And I was like, why am I letting something like this upset me so much? That's not a good sign. So I'm just pivoting. I set up a new account today because, not being in Tom Ferry and the ecosystem on our Facebook page, that's like heartbreaking. Because it's such a big tool for me. And then all my other groups that are like lifelines, twin mom group and my neighborhood community that I farm. It's a big deal. So I had to pivot, but Instagram is my jam too. So.
And you're still there and you have access to that.
Yeah. It's just different,
Yeah.
2008 are gone.
Very, very, very different. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am super curious about you being a realtor in 2 very different locations. So talk to us about how you are servicing clients in two different locations, and also talk to us about what made you be a dual licensed agent in 2 different states and 2 very different geographic areas.
Absolutely. So I actually am from Tampa, Florida, which is why my phone number is an 813. I just can't.
Speaking of phone number, let's share that for the audience that are thinking of working with you. Okay. All right.
Thank you. So that's what the 813 is from. I am born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I never thought I would leave, but I was in the hotel industry, and an opportunity came up for me to relocate up here to the DC metro area, which it was a huge opportunity. I was 26, and it was to sell the nation's capital to hotel conventions and stuff domestically. And that's like a dream for someone at 26 that loves hotels. So it's a first tier city. You can write your own ticket after that. I loved hotels. Like, it was a part of me. And so I just was like, okay, this is an opportunity. I can't turn it down. I was 26. I came up here to DC and I loved it. But I go home to Tampa all the time. So I'm still very connected. Like I said, I lost my mom. So I'm a family girl. My dad and I are very, very close. My brother and my other family. So for a long time, I was like, yeah, I'll come back eventually to Florida. Well, then I started dating this guy from church who is now my husband, and his father sold real estate, and Chris sold real estate. My husband, well, he's licensed. He doesn't actually he's my trophy husband when it comes to real estate. Corporate now. So we switched. So long story short, my father-in-law was just so advocating for me to get my Virginia license. And I was like, I'm up for it because all my friends are getting married from Bible study and stuff. I'm missing opportunity. I know the city better than anybody because I sell it to, convention planners and all this stuff. And so I got my Virginia license first. So the Northern Virginia, I had Tampa first. I got Tampa when I was 22.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When I was 22, and it was mostly to work with hoteliers, people in the hotel industry that are relocating. That's where I started. That was when I started working real estate. I was already in hotels with them, and they were looking to move their families here for an opportunity with hotels in Tampa. And that's when I started selling after my mom died when I was 22. And then I moved up here when I was 26, and I started selling Northern Virginia and DC. And so I sell both of those areas. And so I got my license, and it just works. So it was a gift to be able to sell still in Florida. But COVID, which was such a, traumatic thing for a lot of people, for me and my brother, when it comes to business opportunities and kind of living the dream, it was a dream for us because my brother is licensed in Florida and Tampa. And so many people were leaving up here to go to Florida.
Yeah.
As we know, right? Florida and Texas were huge states where people were flocking to. Yeah. And so I just started getting tons of listing opportunities for people that were relocating from the Northern Virginia, DC metro area to Florida for, Governor DeSantis's philosophies, and everybody wanted to go. And so it was like a great opportunity for my brother and I, because he would show properties and I would do all the negotiation. Because as I said, that's like my jam. So
I was going to ask you, how did you manage being on the ground? So you have your fingers on the ground, or you have your boots on the ground, I should say.
my brother, and if I can't trust my brother, I can't trust anybody, right? Like we are very tight. I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, and that is just a part of how we are. That's how I was raised. And so at the end of the day, that's when we realized that this is a great opportunity for us where we could continue to grow the market. And I don't necessarily have to be down there because with the kids, I can't do that as easy as I used to be. So it worked for us and it still works very well. So when people are relocating, if I have clients there that just people I know and they, are interested in investing in real estate, making some changes, I jump right in. I do an onboarding call with my brother so they're aware of who he is and we connect. And then I lay it out. I'm like, listen, he's going to be showing you things and I'm in the background. When it comes to negotiation, I am the one that's going to protect you and get you to closing. And that gives them a sense of, security because that's just my brand. People know who I am. I'm very relational, not transactional. And that's what people want. So that's when that started to propel really high. So it's so fun. It is so fun to be able to go home and we have several investment properties there. So we stay for, 10, 15 days and I can go see clients that used to live up here that live down there. And it's just fun. It's kind of like, wait, you love this jet ski life, huh? I used to love it. Like I love it too.
So up here in Northern Virginia, you're working with your father-in-law,
So
and
not anymore. He is with EXP. He closed his brokerage. And I'm with McInerney, which is a small boutique family owned business. We have about 400 plus agents. We did a merger with another local brand and that's where I'm at. So I really enjoy the small, not small because 400 is a lot, but I like the traditional style of having that. So, but I always tell people that talk to me about like like, oh, what do you think about this? And I'm like, I've never been the type that follows the next shiny thing, right? That's just not who I am. I'm more loyal type, which is a different generation, I think. But that's just my personality. So I really prefer to sell that way. So I am with McInerney Associates in my area, and they just have such a great reputation, and that matters.
Yeah.
The other day from my farm, and she's like, "I just love McInerney." She's like, "I didn't even want to talk to anyone else because I know you, and then to know you're with this prestigious company that delivers, I'd rather just talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh, that works perfect. Let's go have coffee."
Let's go do this.
Let's go. So,
Okay.
but it's fun. I think that's something that people don't realize is Northern Virginia is where a lot of military are PCSing because we have so many bases around. So that's definitely a sweet spot. But DC is just as good to invest in, and so many people don't think about it. But it's just a cool spot.
So let me just pick on what you said. PCSing. Explain to our audience, what does it mean to PCS?
Yes, so that's when the military is relocating you to a different area, which typically happens in cycles. So typical this and everything's I say typically because no 2 days are ever the same. Right?
Yep.
So it's usually 3-year cycles. So we're in the midst of a cycle right now. People got their orders back March, April time, and they know it's happening and they need to move by June. And get their kids enrolled in school. And so I'm really passionate I'm not a military spouse. I never served, but I do have ties to it through family. However, I am so passionate about just going alongside this journey with people that have a pain point, right? Like this has to happen. It's not like, oh, I'm thinking about it. I may invest. It's more of like, no, we're coming. We're bringing our 3 kids. We have no idea. Only thing we know is what the military spouse Facebook page said to do, so
yeah.
But the benefit of working by referral is like, I don't pay for leads. Like, I'm not like, here I am, click on here. It's more of hey, I've worked with Charmaine and she knows what she's doing. She's, I'm a military relocation professional, which means I got a certification through the Association of Realtors that one of my former brokers was really passionate about, because she's a former, her husband served, so she's a military spouse. And I just was like, oh, I can get behind that. Like, I would love to understand their like the language of the military and kind of be able to serve that those families. And I've done it. I've done sight unseen offers. I've done they're, in Paris and I'm here and I'm doing the showings. It's a totally different way of selling real estate. But when they get here and you can see their face and like, they're just so excited because this is, their 15th move, and they, whether they're separating, meaning they're done and they're retiring out, or they're here for a while and they're going to move again, just to see the relief of, okay, we did this right. And that's huge,
That is huge. So let's talk about your area. And so I'm gonna think that we are looking at Washington D.C. area as well. Maybe we'll look at that whole area, and you give us some education there. That's my favorite thing to do with these interviews.
Yeah.
So let me do a screen share and have you walk us through what we're looking at.
Yes.
Okay.
So I focus primarily on the Northern Virginia area and the DC area. So I do have team members that work with the Maryland side on my behalf. I feel like it's a whole different animal. But
this side, you mean? This side?
The Maryland side. Yeah, that side. Uh-huh.
So, okay, so so you're covering this side then more.
Yep. All of DC, which is so fun to do. Because I mean, let's be real, showing, a condo by the Capitol building is pretty legit. Like,
is that around here then?
I can't see your cursor. Yep. So listen, if you're someone that wants to invest in something, that's just a great area. Here's what I tell people all the time. And I have tons of onboarding calls with buyers and sellers. And I always say, let's just keep in mind that people will always have to live here. So I tell Tampa market, we have our ups, downs, it's the number one place in Florida to live right now. So everybody's freaking out. But DC, and I'll say DC Metro, right? Covering the Northern Virginia area. That's another word of saying it. The DC Metro, or the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. The thing about us is our market will always be strong. Because people always have to live here. The military will always bring you here. The government will always bring you here. Even if you're fully remote, most of the time you need to have an address here.
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about headquarters. Amazon. They're now in Alexandria. A huge headquarters is now right over the bridge from DC in Alexandria.
Well, right here.
Yep, it's called National Landing. They even made a name for it called National Landing. If you look at Tyson's Corner, that's National Landing. If you go to Tyson's Corner, which is more to the left and up, it's McLean. Tyson's Corner is what it's called. You've got, what is it? Capital. Oh my goodness, I just went blank. What's that? Capital One. Sorry, Capital One. Blah. Single mom parenting right now is like the real deal. So Capital One moved their headquarters here in Tyson's Corner. And to be honest, they didn't make it just a building. It is a campus. It is it's changed the whole landscape of that area. And they want people in those offices. Of course, during COVID.
Where did you say?
Tyson's Corner. So if you go to, I can't even see that. Okay. If you go up and then to the left, a little more up and then go to the left. Keep going to the left a little bit. And okay. So where you see, go to the left there, right where you see all the metros and stuff connect right there. That's
right here.
Go up.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. Up. There you go. You see you see everything connecting? Go to the left a little bit. You're good at this.
I mean, this is, oh,
Yeah,
Tyson's, you said.
Tyson.
Oh, Tyson's, Virginia. Okay.
This place is phenomenal. So that's where Capital One headquarters is now, which is a campus. It's amazing. Hilton Corporate is there too. Cvent, which is another huge employer for us. And then if you go to Reston, you have even more headquarters. But in these little corridors, just a few mile corridor radius, you have Northrop Grumman, you have Lockheed Martin, you have Marriott Corporate. I mean, Austin Martin. You have, the list goes on. So the headquarters here is what's driving it too. It's not just the military and the government, and that's what I love to tell people. It's
Yeah.
not those things. It's the other opportunities that come with it. So I mean, let's be real. Everything starts here. That's for sure.
That is totally true. That is totally true. When you're Williamsburg, isn't Williamsburg like a touristy area or something? It just sounds very familiar, Williamsburg.
It's about 3 hours away from us. It is in Virginia. It's more in. And Williamsburg's fun, yeah, but it's not the same corridor as ours.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So from where you said, right here, like around Washington National Cathedral,
Yep. Let's do.
to where you said Tyson's, how far,
15.
like how big of an area are we talking here?
Oh, it's I mean, it's got diverse housing options, that's for sure. It's very it's it's a thriving market right there. Let's just say everything that you're showing on the screen right now is a thriving, like it's thriving big time. So
Look at that. So who do you got there? Let me unshare and get to meet this young lady.
say hi, Jeannie. Hold on, let me get this. Say hi.
Hi, how are you?
You smile? We can't see your face, Jeannie. She is named, I can see you. Can you get in the camera? She is named after my mom, my mother-in-law, me, everybody.
Very cute. Very cute.
Thanks.
Well, this is just so much fun. Thank you so much for this super fun interview. So, Jean,
Yeah.
how old are you?
How old are you?
4.
4.
4.
When's your
You're
birthday?
a girl. Are you in kindergarten?
Are you in kindergarten yet? Say not yet.
Not yet.
Yet. Okay. So
Hey,
mom is busy.
power. She's a twin.
Yeah. So how do you like your brother, Jeannie?
Good.
Excellent. That was a good answer. Good girl.
We'll see if Judah says the same about her. That's my friend.
All right, excellent. All right, well, let's share this Power Moms information. If you are thinking of buying in any of these areas, there is your lady. There is Charmaine. Or if you are thinking of buying in Tampa Bay, since she is a native to that area and she has her boots on the ground, she can also help you in Tampa Bay. And she is my boots on the ground as well in Washington D.C. area. And then let's go down the list of her contact information. So there is her cell phone number if you want to give her a call. There is her email address if you want to send her an email. There is her website where you can take a look at her offerings. And she's also busy on Instagram. And so give her a follow. And that way you can stay in touch. And Jeannie, thank you so much for joining us today. This was super, super fun.
It's already gone.
And audience, if you are thinking of buying or selling in the San Diego area, there's my phone number and my website. There is my email address. And I also like to hang out on Instagram. And thank goodness not yet. My Facebook is working still. So there's my Facebook account. And let's hope that you get yours back if that's meant to be, or a new one if
Oh, there's that.
route to go. So thank you so much. And audience, if you are watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. The more that you like us and subscribe to us, the more you will spread our reach. And remember, well, us realtors, we work well together, and we do realtor partnerships, and that way we can service you all across the country. And there you have my realtor partner in the DC area. And anything else? Any last thoughts that you have, Charmaine, for our audience?
I want to say, I think it's important that people realize to leverage the relationship that you already have with someone in your market. When you are considering making a move, or someone that you love and trust and you care about is going to make that move. Because I think that seamless connection, like I just interviewed an agent in Texas for a client, for her mom that's aged out. She's 90 and she needs to move. And I asked very hard questions because I've helped so many people move from their house for 40 years and move to another state to be closer to their kids, And I think it's important that you leverage the relationships that you already have with someone that you trust, to let us as your person, as your agent, call the other agent and say, hey, this is my person and I need this, this, and this from you. And if you can't do that, then let me know, because I'm going to be writing this out with them in the background. So I think that's really important that people don't realize. It's not just, get a referral fee. It's so much more when you're working with someone that's, relationship driven, not transaction, which you could definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up. That important points when you are trying to choose your realtor. So thank you for sharing all that. And audience, thank you so much for joining us, and have yourself a great evening.